Okay, good. Hello, my faithful brawlers and everyone on the martial arts server. I have been elected as the MMA librarian keeper, and as the MMA librarian keeper, well, actually more the kickboxing librarian keeper, I would like to correct myself. I've elected to read this book out loud for all of you on the server by Pat O'Keefe. Pat O'Keefe. Yeah, that I'm gonna just call him Pat O'Keefe. And this book, I'll be reading the introduction and the back for you to let you know about the author. Pat O'Keefe is a world-renowned kickboxing trainer and champion who has competed against 3 world champions in his decades-long career. He is the British head and team coach for the American kickboxing organization KICK. Kick. Now that is a pretty good organization name. Hold up, something's coming by. Okay, hold up, something else is coming by. Okay, something else is coming by now. Okay. Okay, everything's clear now and you can hear me clearly. Okay, now, some information like about kickboxing. We will be reading the introduction, contents, chapter 1, the fundamentals. And I will be reading the introduction to you now. Kickboxing is an American child born in the mid-70s as a result of the creeping frustration felt by martial artists with the karate the mid-circuit. The 70s witnessed a martial arts revolution, partially brought about by Western exposure to Chinese films and partially by the explosion of martial arts dojos, kwans, and dojins throughout America and Europe. If the 70s had a creed, it was do your own thing, and this social attitude split over into martial arts. America has always been a melting pot of cultures, and when the hunger for new martial arts experiences led for sampling, simultaneously Japanese, Korean, and Chinese martial arts comparisons became inevitable. Americans are an icon cast by nature and do not hesitate to borrow what was perceived as good in one style and add it to what they already had. Thus, Korean leg techniques were infused with Okinawan and Japanese hand techniques, onto which the fluidity and subtlety of Chinese systems was grafted in an attempt to create the ultimate style. From these hybrids came many diverse systems, some good and some laughable. So to sum up, basically, kickboxing is a combination of other martial arts that were in the melting pot of America. Kind of like how we all became like Americans from different cultures, except this time it's with martial arts. This searching and experimentation caused considerable controversy, the ripples of which still can be detected. But then came what for many was a nightmare: full contact karate. Full contact karate, not to be confused with Master Oyama's dynamic Kyoku Senkai fighting style, was a bastard derived from a dozen different styles with little no eloquence and under the discipline and mystique traditional Oriental fighting styles. Fighters entered the ring with boxing gloves and went for it. These early pioneers could not have guessed what would follow. The simmering anger of traditionalists boiled over at this unruly child who displayed the manners and ways of its parents. The very name full contact karate was attacked, and rightfully so, given what went on between the ropes with hardly karate. And yielding to the country, this new innovation increasingly used the term kickboxing. Kickboxing derived from full contact karate. I'm not sure how laughable it was because I wasn't born in that era, but I would have liked to see like the slug matches that would have happened. And for all I know, it could have been good entertainment. And yet the controversy was not all from the outside. When these kickboxers entered the ring, they discovered to surprise, if not horror, that their stamina was well below that needed to fight over several rounds. The reason for this was that the deadly techniques that they had practiced all these years were largely negated when you place boxing gloves on, and instead of one punch kills, many blows are needed to keep someone at bay. Even the much vaunted kicking techniques were nullified when your opponent than rapidly throwing haymakers at your head. Traditional blocking is so proved to be suspect when blows come from all angles with power behind the attacks. The fights did not turn out to be deadly battles. They were untidy, hard, exhausting brawls, where good martial artists were reduced to wrecks by the series in a test. Yet the plot could not be turned back. So basically, the kickboxing was a combination. It has a lot of elements from karate, and they were negated by putting gloves on. That's why I don't train with gloves on. I used to do a bit of boxing matches in my front yard, but then I just didn't need the gloves because my hands were already so hard from punching the trees for several months, punching and kicking the trees, so I didn't really need gloves. So I can understand why gloves would mess up your game. If you have hard hands, that's all the gloves you need, in my opinion. The kickboxers turned out to yet another fighting system, Western boxing. They watched with envy as professional boxers maintained their technique, their fitness, and their pull over 10, and even 15 rounds. Clearly, if kickboxing was going to succeed, it needed to go back to school and learn some secrets from boxers. Thus, more evidence that boxing is not just a sport. It's one of the most effective martial arts you could ever use in any type of situation. It builds good athleticism, good stamina, good coordination, and it honestly does make you really humble, especially when you find the right gym. I myself have practiced boxing, and I found that it's one of the best fighting styles you could use. And if you're not particularly strong in your upper body, the most of the power comes from your lower body anyway. So anyone can make boxing work. Okay. More than 20 years has elapsed since the first to native steps of kickboxing's pioneers. It is now recognized as a martial sport in its own right, having links with the past but making its own future. Traditional arts have survived and in fact are now much stronger, thus we now see karate styles, otherworldly traditional, using hook and spinning hook kicks, Korean and Northern Chinese, spinning sweeps and takedowns, Chinese, and openly examining the karate styles and adding and taking much in the process. Kickboxing, then, is an elastic martial sport that took 20 years in the making, shedding many skins with maturity. Like all sports, those who come after will be the best, each champion standing on the shoulders of the past champions, the pioneers who dare to try. Whenever you do any martial art or anything else, always remember that it came at the cost, sweat and tears, and blood of all the people that came before you. You ride on the backs of kings to become a king yourself, whether it be in martial arts or art or even just in everyday life. Go through everything you do with pride, for you can only imagine the legacy you are following. This book will aim to teach the techniques and skills to enable you to become a kickboxer, or if you are one already, to improve and deepen your skills. It will address all the areas that you will need if you are to reach your potential. It will require you to examine and analyze your own performance and that of your opponent, for only by ruthless self-searching and application can a fighter reach his or her potential. My own teacher was Geoff Whitcomb, a literal thinker and clever martial artist to whom I owe a great debt. So I will open this book with a quote from him, a quote that, like the man, is both subtle and deep. The gym is your laboratory. And with that is the introduction to this. I thank all of you for listening, and I am very, very pleased to be like the librarian for the kickboxing category. I will be reading the rest of this book over the course of the next few weeks, and while I'm doing that, I will also be helped by my friend, say your name.
Devin.
My friend Devin. Come into the light over here, actually, so they can see you, because I can't see you that well over there. And it will also be helped by my friend Devin. And he himself is interested in learning kickboxing, and he will be helping me to display some of the moves here. And over the course of it, I will be teaching each other a lot of interesting things. So Devin, any last words, before we end the video?
No, not really.
I mean, you're wearing a physical education shirt talking about kickboxing. Yeah, he's not a kickboxer, but he learns quickly, I think. You learn quickly, right?
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Anyway, Say goodbye to the people.
Later.
Yeah, okay. Move back. And goodbye, all my faithful ballers. See you next time on the next episode of Pat O'Keefe Kickboxing, the ultimate guide to conditioning, striking, fighting, and more. Goodbye.